Morning, folks. Today's soap is brought to us by Yulay Soap of the Gods. This one here is named Merc, and it has a smoky, burnt smell to it. That's what it looks like there on the inside. And it's a fairly soft soap, easy to scoop out, put in a bowl, lather up. Still got the alum block with no rubber band. Definitely getting smaller. Humphrey's witch hazel that I've added menthol and peppermint to, and this is not what you might normally see in the store. This one here is 16 ounces, and got the matching aftershave here, and it's witch hazel based as opposed to being alcohol based. Here's the shaver of the day, the one I forgot to put in the video. This is a Irving Barber Company Shavette IBC. This one here is a chrome model. Last time I looked, I think they're out of stock on the chrome model, but these come with different color of scales, burgundy, I think a black, and maybe a satin chrome or something along those lines. But anyway, that's what the blade exposure looks like. This part back here is what I was referring to. That is actually metallicized, so magnetized, so it helps hold the blade in place. And the scales are pretty solid. Did a great job designing this. It's pretty nice. I also got a Kai blade in there, pink. Third use on it. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning. Preshave oil from Stirling. Their beard oil, it doubles as a Preshave oil. And this one here, at least for my nose, when I first put it on, it's a Island Man. I can smell it when I first put it on, but after that, my nose doesn't pick it up. So, for me, in other words, the scent doesn't interfere with with the soap that I'm using. Got it whipped up here in my wooden bowl. It's definitely on the wet side with the Shaven Sailor 3D printed brush. This one here's got a boar knot in it, and he has two different versions. One's twisted and one's smooth. This is the twisted version here, as you can tell right there, but very much on the yogurt side of things. It is wet. It works well for me when I especially when I'm shaving with a Shavette or a straight razor. Plenty of slickness. I can smell the smokiness from this soap. It's definitely got a smoky scent to it. So if you don't particularly care for that, this would not be the soap for you, because it just, as soon as you take the top off the soap container, it just rolls right on out. And I've had this soap. This one here, I think I've had over a year. The smoky scent is like a burnt smoke scent to it, I should say. On the scent description, which I have down below, it does mention that you might pick up a metallic scent. My nose doesn't pick it up. Yours might. Like I say, my nose is not the best in the world, so especially since it doesn't work half the time. I'm going to get started here. Like I mentioned in the video about this particular shaver, it's very versatile. You can, instead of ordering the whole entire shavette after you've got one, you can order just the scales if that's what you want to do. Swap out the scales for a different color coordination. Has all the fittings parts that go to this shavette in case you need a replacement part for whatever the reason might be. Like I say, it's well designed. It's not on the cheap side either. It'll run you right around $70 mark. They have adjusted their prices a little bit in that when I first ordered mine a while back, The chrome version was the more inexpensive one. I like chrome anyway, so it worked out well for me. Then anything that had color to it, it actually cost more. And I noticed last time I looked at the website, they're all the same price now. I think the going price it's right at $70. I think it's like $69 and was it 88 cents or something like that. But like I said, for me, I like it. It's well made, but it does have weight behind it. This is all metal, so it's definitely got some weight behind it. So if you prefer something that's lightweight, this is definitely not one for you. It does have some weight behind it, but for me, it's well balanced. I enjoy using it from time to time. It takes a DE blade snapped in half, injector blades or mini hair shaper blades, and as well as the Feather Artist Club style blades like this Kai blade here. With it being magnetized, I keep on wanting to say that. With it being magnetized, it does make it pretty easy to load blades. I don't have any trouble with it, but I've been loading blades and Shavettes for a while, so I'm accustomed to, you might say, various ways of loading a blade. I will have a straight razor shave coming up here pretty soon. I was kind of thinking maybe this weekend. Reason being is I have got a new, I want a drawing and got a straight razor, and it's awesome looking. So stay tuned. I mean, how can you say, just one of those, when you have it in your hand, it's just one of those straight razors that you just kind of ooh and ah over. It's a vintage shaver. I'll give you some more information, during the video about it, because I want to look it all up as much as I can and give you some background on the shaver, because it is a cool looking shaver. Speaking along those lines, I won't mention the company, but it sure did irritate me. Was not a happy camper. In most cases, when you order something from a company, then you find out that when you do get it, in other words, the shipping, I knew the shipping might be a little bit slow, and that was, I was more or less okay with it. Just still didn't understand why it takes so long for them to actually ship it. Not the shipping process from the time they ship it till it gets to the house, just for them to put it in a box and ship it. And the company is not a small company. They have, they sell a lot of stuff, different kinds of stuff. So anyway, so you wait your 5 days before they finally put it in a box and ship it to you. And then, then you have to wait for the shipping. So, you're being patient, you're waiting for your new toy to show up, your new razor. And then you get it finally, the day it shows up, the excitement. You get the box, you open the box, and you open it up, and that's not what I ordered. I didn't order this. And what I had done is I had ordered a straight razor, and they had shipped me a 6/8, but I paid for the 7/8. I wanted the 7/8. And you would think, that, after I sent the email, say, I was paid for, my invoice says it's 7/8, but what was shipped was 6/8. So, I was expecting, that, okay, well, it's another delay before I finally get it. They'll have me ship the 6/8 back, and then I'll get the 7/8. Oh, no. I shipped the 6/8 back, and there was no offer to give me the right one to begin with. No offer. In other words, keep your money, ship you the right product. No. They gave me a refund, which was nice. I mean, that's, you want your refund. if you're not going to get the 7/8. But why not ship the 7/8? So anyway, I won't mention who it is, but it was a little irritating. Looking forward to the 7/8. So now I can say back up and take another good look at what I want to do, because I'm starting to wonder, instead of getting a, I guess you might say, a new straight razor, looking towards a vintage one. Maybe, haven't decided just yet. It's going to be a moment before I order another one. Yeah, that was quite a disappointment. Not like this one here. Yeah, not disappointed at all. I have so many different Shavettes, and sometimes I feel like some of them are a bit more challenging, so I have a tendency to shave more so with those than the ones that are what I would consider relatively easy for me to use. There is one thing I should say. About this shaver is that the pivot point is one of those that it has washers, plastic washers in there. So if you felt the need to tighten it up, because maybe it's getting a little loose, you can kind of see there, it's just common screwdriver type situation. So if it's not tight enough or too tight, you can loosen it up. And they do sell the washers for it. They should wear out. Like I say, it's one of those situations where you can build one from scratch from their website if you wanted to. It just, you know, they have all the fittings for it. It is a very interesting Shavette type setup, in that they offer so many different ways to make repairs or change up the color coordination on them. Now the way I remember it, at least judging from the pictures, if you're kind of wondering about the scales, these scales are pretty smooth, and if that matters to anybody, this is a fingerprint magnet like you wouldn't believe. Now the other versions they have of this with colored scales, the colored scales looks like they're kind of textured, maybe not smooth like this. At least that's the way it looks like in the photo. If that sort of thing is something that just might bug the heck out of you, is all the fingerprints that might show up. Yeah, this one here shows up a lot of fingerprints. But the other versions did not look like that would happen, because the scales look like they were, like I say, had a texture to them, but now the rest of it's still shiny. And you'll pick up some fingerprints from there, but the scales look like there's a texture to them, and fingerprints, in other words, wouldn't be showing up there as much. But it is not a cheap shaver, so I guess you might say you'd have to be somewhat committed, I would say, to start out with a shaver like this. It's kind of like, you know, the feathers. Some of the DX models are very expensive. Matter of fact, the prices on some of those feather Artist Club DXs run at the same price as a straight razor. Not exactly cheap or inexpensive. So, but that Feather Artist Club SS model, those, if you look, especially along the lines of Amazon, you can find one right around the $60 mark, or wait for a sale from your favorite vendor. You might get lucky there. But those you can find right around the $60 mark. And now that I'm familiar with Kai blades, you know, the pink works out just outstanding for me. Now I know with the Feather Artist Club, a number of people use the professional, and that one seems to work out for most folks. I had some, And when the DX was passed around, I put it in the box and shipped it with them because I couldn't. Every time I try to use the professional, it just would not work well for me. Supers work out great for me, which is kind of odd when you compare the. You look at the difference in between a super and the mild. You would think the mild Captain Pop, Kai, Captain Titan, whatever pink, that blade would work out for me. And to me, it's because of the grind. Because if you look at the two side by side, the grinds on these are just totally different. The way I look at it, they're just two different blades just all together on the grind. And this grind on these milds work well for me. And then the supers from Feather work well for me. I have I guess you might say I stocked up a few on the milds because I just really like that blade. Not only in this, in a Shavette, but even in a single edge shaver that takes them, like the Razor Rock Hawk. Great shaves. I can use either blade, but it's just nice to have the ability to get other blades if you wanted to. Just one of those things for me that was one of the holdbacks from getting a Feather Artist Club to begin with, is because I felt like I was tied to a particular name brand blade, and if something should ever happen where those blades get to be hard to get a hold of, then there you are. Then I became aware of the Kai blades, and so now I've got at least two different kind of blades, name brands that I can work with. And as goes for Kai, their Shavettes are not cheap either. So yeah, I seen one for, what was it, 250 bucks? Not my price range. Go ahead and get started here with the aftershave here. When it comes to prices and whatnot, I do spend a lot of time, I guess you might say, hunting for the best price. You can definitely smell the smokiness on this. I have to say how this month's going, in case I hadn't mentioned another video or maybe you didn't catch it. The whole month of October, as it goes for, there's a Facebook group called Redbeard Shaving Lounge, and the idea was that we'd pick an artisan for the whole month. Thought I'd never done it. That's something probably ought to give a try, so I did. And so Van Yulay is going to be the artisan for the whole month of October. And there's more than one reason, but the biggest reason why I picked Van Yulay is because it's one of those things that fits in what I would prefer. It's kind of like Wild West Shaving. He offers his soaps in 2-ounce containers, and that I really appreciate that, and I like that. And I like the idea with Van Yulay. Monica offers such a wide range of different kinds of soap. Like for instance, this one here is a tallow and argan oil-based soap, and there'll be other soaps that will be vegan or whatever the case might be. There's a whole range of different kind of soap bases that she has, and as it goes for scents, she's got them, hordes of them. Too many for me to buy, that's for sure. But with a setup that looks like this, in other words, with these kind of colorful labels, let's say, usually the soap runs $15 and the aftershave runs about $10. So you're looking at $25 for the set. And looking at a number of the places when you're looking at a matching set, this is a good value. And she offers some that are even cheaper yet than this. So in other words, if you go to her website and you look on the gift boxes, and there's one that runs for $19.99. You can get a soap that's, I think, 3-ounce size. Get some of these vendors kind of confused in between 3 and 3.5. But if I remember right, hers is 3-ounce size, and she has two different versions, Aquarius and Hercules. And you can get that gift box for 20 bucks. You get the 3-ounce soap. You get, of course, the scent that you want, as well as you get the aftershave balm, and I think that comes in a 2-ounce size also. And you get the Preshave oil, which is 1-ounce size, which will be scented with whatever scent that you pick, as well as the aftershave, and it will be a size like this, which I think is, 4-ounce size. So, I mean, that's a great value. I have a few of hers that are like that. I say a few, 6 maybe. I do have a few. I like that value. And that soap base, you know, depending whether you pick the Aquarius version or the Hercules version, the soap base works well for me. And she does go in some detail those two different soap bases, if you're looking for a particular scent, you might want to read the two different versions because one's better set up for like a drink scent than what the other one is. Just throwing all that out there. You may have to do a little bit of research before you decide, but for 20 bucks, getting all that for $20, that's a great value. I appreciate what she does for different budget ranges, I guess you might say. Going on and on. It's past 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.